Hey, I'm Ron Evans, and welcome to my channel and my blog page. This is dedicated specifically to housing updates in Rancho Santa Margarita, California, where I live and where I primarily work. If you are looking for any other updates to housing in Orange County, please check out the rest of my YouTube channel or one of the other blog pages on my website for those. Anyway, let's dive right into the August updates for 2023. Let's start off by talking about the current active listings and how they compare to previous months and year over year. Right now in Rancho Santa Margarita, we have 51 active listings. That's in July. That's the most current news I have is numbers I have is for July of 2023. We had 51 active listings. That is down 61%, which is very significant. We had a high water mark in 2022, in July of 2022, of 131. Now, what was going on then versus now obviously has a lot to do with interest rates. We started seeing interest rates tick up in early to middle of 2022, and they kind of peaked and really jumped up there in July in the summer. And a lot of people put their homes on the market at that time in anticipation of a hot summer market, but not anticipating that the rates were going to go up, unfortunately. And that really impacted a lot of things, not necessarily as negative as you may think, which we'll dive into here with the other slides. But just know that right now we have 51 homes on the market. And it is a significant decrease to what we saw just a year ago this time. Let's move on. Okay, so we had 51 homes available to sell in July, active listings. We actually closed 54 transactions in Rancho Santa Margarita in July of 2023. That's down slightly from July of 2022. And if you look at the graph, you'll see that in July of 2022, we closed 56 transactions. Now, what else did I tell you about July of 2022? We had 131 homes available to sell. So you'll see that the closed transactions went down significantly at that same time that we were adding some inventory. And that was due to people were rushing to get their homes on the market, trying to beat the interest rates, or they just misinterpreted the market and got on late, thinking they were going to really be able to take advantage of the low rates still, which were gone. And then buyers started pulling back and demand started pulling back. So even though we had a bunch of inventory hit for a little bit there, the closed sales really went down. What does it all mean? Let's continue. Okay, so we just saw that we had 51 homes that were active in July. We sold or closed 54 homes in July, meaning we actually sold more than we had active. But that's, pending transactions and escrows can be 30 days, 45 days, and even longer. So that's just what closed. Those likely went into escrow before July, obviously. Let's look at how it's all impacting the price of property. And I'm using the median sales here, not just the average sales, because this is a combination of both detached homes, condos, townhomes, every type of property, residential property in Rancho Santa Margarita. So I'm using a median price because I think it gives a little bit of a truer reflection than average. If I was to break it down into what single family homes versus attached condos or attached homes, I could probably get away with using average in that regard. However, you'd still want to use different neighborhoods and things like that and kind of be a little more of a pinpoint to get a true average when you're looking, because then you're looking at comparable sales. So we're going to use the median average for now. And you'll see that in July of 2023, we ended with a median average sales price of $905,000, which is a 7% increase year over year. That is hefty. So we were $845,000 in a median price in 2022 of July. A 7% increase, while it is not the 18% that we saw in 2021 and probably the 12% that we saw in 2022 as a calendar year, it's still very significant that we're seeing above average increases in median sales price. Typically, Orange County year over year is about 4.5 to 5%, which still outpaces like the rest of the country. Historically, real estate is like a 3.5% year over year investment on increase in cost and price. Orange County typically is in that 4.5 to 5% range. The post-COVID boom has been nuts. And again, we saw like 18% or so in 2021, about 10 to 12% in 2022 overall cumulative throughout all of Orange County. Here in Rancho Santa Margarita, we're still seeing a 7% increase. Now, you'll notice there was a spike in June, and that was because there were several luxury homes or homes that were like above 2 million that sold, that kind of skewed it a little bit. It's a little bit of an outlier compared to all the other months. You'll see that normally it's been a steady growth throughout 2023. Let's continue. Now let's just talk about average days on market, which is basically the time it takes to get a home put in the MLS, get a contract on it, and get it closed. Right now, in July, we ended at 12 days on market, which is 36% down from July of last year, which was 19. Now, when I mentioned earlier how we had so many homes coming on in July of that year, but the closed sales started declining, this is what got impacted the most. The homes still sold, but they started taking a lot longer. You'll see that the chart goes up and up and up to where we hit like September and we went from 19 days to almost 40 days. We almost doubled our days on market in just a couple months because all those homes hit the market in July. And then we got into the winter months, January and everything, which is typical that the numbers should go up, but they went up drastically. We were up at like 54, 55, maybe even higher a little bit for a couple of days in days on market. But then now, as the supply has continued to dwindle, the days on market are shrinking. The demand is not, in my opinion, a whole lot different. The rates are still really high, but the buyer pool hasn't been able to find anything. So the buyer pool hasn't actually shrunk, and it really hasn't grown much. It's been about the same amount of people looking to buy, but just with fewer homes, they are going to sell quicker. It's just a natural remedy of things. It doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, indicate much other than there's just not a whole lot out there. So now the last metric I really want to talk about is the inventory months in supply. And this is how much inventory we have, that if we stopped taking any new listings today, how long it would take us to get through what we have in the bank, basically. Right now, it's just barely over a month. It's 1.1 months, 45% down from this time last year, which was at 2 months. Now, that is low. 2 months is low, is crazy low. A little over a month is insanely low. We typically need between 120 to 150 days. So that's 4 to 5 months of inventory just to be at a balanced market, meaning it's not a seller's market, it's not a buyer's market. Things are kind of equal, right? We are still in an insanely hot seller's market, regardless of the issues with the buyer pool and regardless of the issues with interest rates, simply because the supply is just not there. Will it change anytime soon? I personally don't see it. Just looking at the trends, I think we're in this for the long haul, maybe like another year, 18 months. It's going to really depend on the interest rates are going to grease the wheel of supply, because it's going to, if the interest rates come back down at all, it's going to loosen up home sellers who want to downsize and who want to move, but right now can't because they don't want to give up their crazy interest rate to move into something that they're going to have to, they may pay the same amount for dollar wise, but have double or triple the interest rate. So we need the interest rates to come back down to kind of grease that wheel. I'm going to continue to update everything on a monthly basis, just what I'm seeing here in Rancho Santa Margarita. Again, if you want global updates of Orange County, head over to my YouTube channel or look at my blog and get the regular updates. But this particular page here on my website is just going to be dedicated to RSM. If you do have any specific questions on real estate, if you want a localized report for your neighborhood, for your model of home, what it's been going for, or if you just want something that's just condos or just single family homes, behind the gates, not behind the gates, whatever you want, I can customize a report just for you. You can hit me up at 949-929-2270, phone call or text. You can email me at ron@ronevansrealty.com, or you can just simply go on my website if you want to be super anonymous and fill out a contact form, and I'm happy to send you whatever it is you like. I hope this helps. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.